When we last left off in Dragon Ball Kakumi, Goku and Beerus' sparring throughout the multiverse finally came to a conclusion. Pushed far past limits he ever even knew he had, Goku's Ultra Instinct had evolved far past anything we'd seen before, as his final clash with Beerus ended before it even started, with him once again collapsing from exhaustion and pain. After he's healed, Goku and Whis begin to chat as it's time for Goku to be taken back to Earth, telling Whis that besides continuing to try and master this power, he should probably in fact go back into his wife and children. As they begin to travel back to the Earth, Goku asks what Whis will do now that their training is concluded for the time being. Whis simply states that he has to check on something, which piques Goku's interest as he asks what could possibly be worrying someone like Whis. Whis tells him that recently he's felt a disturbance, a presence that wasn't there before, and it kinda concerns him. This is when Goku gets extremely serious as he tells Whis to let him handle whatever it is, but Whis refuses at first, of course. After showing Whis how serious he is about helping him and making sure there is no threat in this universe, Whis agrees. However, he tells Goku that at this moment in time he isn't able to come with him as the Grand Priest has just summoned him. Goku assures him that whatever it is, he'll handle it, and the two change course, headed for the site of this strange disturbance that's been troubling Whis. Moments later, after Whis arrives at his destination, at the palace of the Grand Priest, a meeting is being held amongst the angels. With everyone now here, this is when the Grand Priest begins to tell his children of a troubling secret he's kept from them for so long. He explains that due to Android 17's wish, previously exterminated universes were revived due to the power of the Super Dragon Balls after the Tournament of Power. This, however, would have cataclysmic ramifications on the rest of the multiverse, as this also unsealed an 8th universe, a universe the Grand Priest never mentioned and kept the angels in the dark about. This was Universe 19, also known as Universe 0. As whispers of disappointment and shock fill the room, the Grand Priest tells them that he honestly had no choice but to keep this information to himself, due to the wrath that may be brought down by the Omni Kings. But a feminine voice silences the room as they all turn around in shock. As a woman begins to walk through the sanctuary, the Grand Priest looks as if he's seen a ghost, as I've never seen fear on his face like this before. "Kneel down, you fools," the woman says as she walks through them all, not only heavily resembling all of the angels, but also wearing similar clothing as well. "The one you all refer to as father," she says, "is nothing more than a coward, afraid to face his past actions." "I never abandoned you all," the woman says as she continues to approach the Grand Priest. "Let me tell you about this imposter's past." As this mysterious woman shrouds the Grand Priest's palace in a cold presence. In this video, the lore of the God Realm will expand in a truly exciting way. If you guys want to check out Dragon Ball Kakumi for yourselves, which you honestly have to, guys, like seriously, the link to the website as well as Renko DBK's Twitter will be linked down below in the description box, so be sure to go check it out and also give Renko a follow. Their work is freaking amazing, as you guys can see. Don't forget to have those notifications turned on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live, and if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on this video as well. It really helps out a ton, guys. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all Dragon Ball related content, but without further ado, back at the Grand Priest's palace, he and his angel children stand face to face with a woman intruder who came in slandering their father. "I never abandoned you," the woman says to them again. "Let me tell you about this imposter's past. He provoked a genocide and believed himself at the level of the Omni King," she goes on. "Enough," the Grand Priest shouts. "Stand," he says to the angels. This is the first time I've ever seen the Grand Priest so serious, as this woman must pose a serious threat to have him like this. The Grand Priest lets off a devastating shockwave of power as the angels begin to ask for an explanation on this woman's accusations of him. Who is this angel-looking woman, Whis says. She is indeed an angel, the Grand Priest admits. Moreover, she's your mother. And she's not completely lying to you. The 19th universe of which I spoke, he says, was a particularly united and powerful realm. It released a monstrous strength and threatened the balance established by the Omni King. Something had to be done quickly, and so without the king knowing about it. Act quickly, she shrieks with a terrifying chuckle. Her entire demeanor becomes more menacing. Expanding space and time may be a brief action for you, she says, but it's not exactly what I'd call dying fast. To feel time tear apart the bodies of innocent people, per billions, it may have only lasted a single second for you, but for us, it was tens of billions of years, dear priest. As I did not have the power of the kings, I have, as I said, not found another alternative, the Grand Priest admits. This sends a shock throughout the angels, hearing their father admit to this, but they must remain neutral at all costs. Do you hear that? The woman says. Your father found it wiser to cover up his barbaric act than to simply be honest with the king. But don't blame the Grand Priest, she says. None of this is his fault, nor that of the Omni King. All across the multiverse, the gods begin to recognize a familiar but mysterious presence in the upper realm, as numerous forces can now be felt in the palace that weren't exposed prior. What we really blame is the system they set up that forced your father to act. This is when numerous beings start to descend in the Grand Priest's palace, but not just any beings. In the next panel, what we see next is what can only be explained as a true dissension in the darkness, as numerous angels show themselves for the very first time. Oh, what irony. It's very funny, they begin. What a strange feeling returning to this place, another one says. They are gods and angels of the destroyed universe, as Whis says, as they all look on in awe. Still sharp as a tack, Whis, one of his distant brothers says to him. Hope you didn't miss us all too much. Behave yourselves and bow down. These are the gods and angels returned thanks to the Super Dragon Balls. Balkan, god of destruction of Universe 13, accompanied by the angel Galleon. Dromo, god of destruction of Universe 14, accompanied by Xeres. Vilspring, god of Universe 15, accompanied by the angel Milada. Magnic, god of Universe 16, accompanied by Rimtol. And next, two quite peculiar relationships as we get into the last two universes. Nysos, god of Universe 17, accompanied by the angel Olaros as he tells the enraged angel to stay calm. Wait, Whis, Vado says suddenly. Look over there, as something catches her eye, to which Whis mentioned he noticed as well. The person who appears next as the god of Universe 18 is sure to change the landscape of the multiverse itself, as a sickening laugh echoes through the chambers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've been looking forward to meeting you, Frieza says as he now appears in God of Destruction attire. I especially wanted to thank Whis in person, he says. This is the introduction of the God of Destruction of Universe 18, Frieza, along with his angel known as Twist. Do you see where this excessive neutrality leads you, Twist says to them. Frieza, Whis says, shocked. I think I understand what you're planning to do. I knew when I brought you back to life, he says, walking up to Frieza, that you wouldn't have stayed to do nothing. But to go that far, he says. Do not underestimate me, Frieza says to Whis. This is but a foretaste. Upon information from Zuno, Frieza says, recalling just how he came into this position and power, the commanders of my army informed me of the presence of new universes. It's surprising that Zeno had destroyed the 18th universe. Their god of destruction was miserable. According to Twist, Frieza goes on, he disagreed with his universe's behavior. He obviously didn't have the makings of a revolutionary. This is when we're presented a flashback of the day Frieza approached the former god of destruction of Universe 18. He narrowly misses a fatal shot with his death beam, grazing the god as Frieza laughs about narrowly missing his attack. "I beg your pardon," the god says, but Frieza instead keeps attacking him and easily overwhelms him. His impotence was actually a bit concerning, Frieza says. "I still wonder how he managed to become a god of destruction." "No matter, none of this concerns you," he says, tossing the defeated god to the side once again. "I don't quite understand the point of having it come to this," Whis says, "but anyway, you are right. That doesn't concern me." "Do you regret my resurrection now?" Frieza asks him, smirking, but Whis calmly tells him that Frieza has no idea of where he steps now. "Well, it is all to your credit to take this risk," Frieza says to him. "However, would you please tell me where Son Goku is?" "Son Goku?" the Grand Priest says, surprised. "What does he have to do with him?" "Father," Whis says quickly, "I spotted the location of Universe Zero just before you summoned me. I agreed to let him scout it, but I lost contact and he's not using the button I gave him. I can't reach him or distinguish his presence in that condensed aura that forms in Universe Zero." "Are you talking about the mortal who came in screaming like a donkey right in our headquarters?" Nisus says. "Don't worry, we welcome him as it should be." Why are they keeping Son Goku in prison, the Grand Priest thinks to himself. Our power is far beyond his. He doesn't pose a threat to them. Does he have some sort of sensitive information? "Don't be ignorant," she hisses. "You know exactly why we use him." In the next panel, we see Goku shackled and in prison, God only knows where, as it looks like he's not only been bound and beaten, but possibly tortured as well. "You cowards," Goku screams. "Get back here!" "What do you want from me?" he yells, but his voice falls on no ears besides his own, as he apologizes to Whis for failing him. But for Goku, the worst is yet to come, as a full-scale multiversal war seems to be in the making, as he's nowhere to be found. And without him, the casualties and the devastation in the near future will be unfathomable.